Welcome to International Financial Management. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about option. Now we are going to understand how options will be used for hedging. We are going to learn the following topics today. One is how exporters and importers hedge using buying the options. How do firms, exporters and importers use selling options as a hedging tool? And what is the tunnel strategy? And how do we hedge the foreign exchange exposure using the money market? Now let's see why options are useful for hedging. A forward contract gives certainty, but it is also mandatory. That means you are obliged to honor the contract. So you lose any favorable movement in the exchange rate. An option also protects you from adverse movement, but unlike a forward, it keeps the upside open because the buyer can choose whether to exercise or not. The only extra cost is the premium paid upfront. So options are preferred when we want protection along with flexibility. Let's now apply options to the most common use case in international finance, that is the hedging currency risk. Let's say the case of an exporter, and we will use option hedging by purchase of the option. And here exporter buys a put option. An exporter will receive foreign currency in future. The risk is that the foreign currency depreciates by the time the payment arrives. The exporter buys a put option, the right to sell foreign currency at the strike rate. If the foreign currency weakens below the strike, the exporter exercises the put and sells at the better strike rate, and hence it is protected. If the foreign currency strengthens above the strike price, the exporter lets the put expire and sells in the open market at the better rate, and hence he is benefited. Maximum downside is the premium that you have paid. Now let's talk about this. In this there is a put option for euro 1,25,000. The strike price given to us is 1.44. Premium is 0.02 per unit, and it is going to expire after 90 days. Now we have two conditions. One condition is that the spot price has fallen to 1.41. Now when it is $1.41 per euro, then the exporter will receive less euros when he will sell the euro at 1.41. So in that case, he is not going to go for this market price. He will go for the strike price and will sell at $1.44 per euro, giving him a better return. So hence but if the market price rises to $1.50 per euro, that is a very profitable situation for him, and he will sell the foreign currency that he has received in the market, and hence the option will not be exercised. Now let's talk with regard to importer. Now importer here is going to buy a call option. Why? Because an importer will need to pay in foreign currency in future. The risk is that the foreign currency appreciates, it becomes expensive, making the payment itself more expensive. The importer buys a call option the right to buy foreign currency at the strike price. If the foreign currency strengthens above the strike, the importer exercises the call and buys at a lower agreed rate, and hence it is protected. If the foreign currency weakens below the strike price, the importer lets the call expire and buys from the market at a cheaper rate, and hence he gets benefit. Maximum loss is limited to only the premium that he has paid. Now let's talk about this example. Again, the same example is there. But here we have a call option, not the put option. Here the contract size is 1,25,000 euro, strike price 1.44, premium 0.02, and the expiry after 90 days. Now the question is that if spot price rises to 1.50, what will happen? It will, because the importer has to buy euro, and the price of 1 euro has become 1.50. So this is expensive for him. This rate is expensive. So since this rate is expensive, he would not like to buy from the market. This is the market price. He will not buy from the market, but will buy from the option seller, right? And at what rate? At the rate $1.44 per euro. Now if in case, this is the case 1, that means scenario 1, case 2, if the spot price, that is 1 euro, falls down to $1.41, that means the euro has become cheaper in the market. Fine. So this is a cheaper rate. This is a cheaper rate, and hence he is going to buy from the market. What he will buy? He will buy the foreign currency, which is euro, right? Euro in this case. Now he will buy from the market and he will not exercise the option. Not exercise the option because option is giving him a higher rate, and that is 1.44. So here he is getting a higher rate in the option, and hence the option will expire. Beyond buying options, firm can also sell options as a hedging tool, but this is a more cautious strategy. Selling option is appropriate only when a firm believes that exchange rate movements will be marginal and stable. That means the volatility is very less. In that case, the premium earned from selling helps offset any small adverse movement. For example, an importer who sells a put option earns a premium. This premium reduces the effective cost of purchasing foreign currency if rates are relatively stable. However, if the currency depreciates sharply, the importer is forced to buy at the unfavorable strike rate, facing a potential large loss. Now let us understand hedging through selling of the option, and we will take the example of importer first. Now the importer is going to sell the put option. Because why is he selling the put option? Because in the end he needs the foreign currency, and the put option means the option writer is obliged to buy from option holder who when he exercises the put option. Now here is something interesting. What is the interesting part is that here the importer is the option writer. He is selling the option. And since he is selling the option, he has given right to sell to the option holder. Because why right to sell? Because this is a put option. So the option holder is having the right to sell, and the importer is the option writer, and hence when the option holder will exercise his right to sell, then the option writer, who is the importer, will be obliged to buy. So here we have a future spot price which is 82.50. Now this is what? It is a put option, and since it is a put option, it is the right to sell for option holder and obliged to buy for importer, right. So the strike price is 82, but the spot price is 82.50. So that means if this is the market price, and let us consider the market price here is greater than the strike price, right. Now what does it mean? It means that the buyer of the option, the buyer of the put option will not exercise his right. The reason is he is getting a better price for the foreign currency from the market rather than from the option. So since this particular thing is actually out of the money, right? So out of the money options are never exercised. So here what will happen to importer? What will be the payoff? The payoff for the importer. So here the importer will receive the payment, and what is the payment here? The premium. Will receive the premium, which is rupee 1 per USD, right? And he will buy from the market, and what is going to be the effective cost? The importer will buy from market. Why? Because the option is not exercised, so he cannot buy from the option. So he will buy from the market, and what is the rate? 82.50 is the rate, but he is also receiving a premium of rupee 1, which is a benefit for him. So we will find the effective rate. Effective rate is going to be 82.50 minus 1. So this becomes how much? This becomes 81.50 per USD. We know the contract size is 10,000. So what is the cost to the importer? Cost to importer if he buys So here it is going to be 10,000 into, he is buying the dollars, 81.50. This gives him 8,15,000. Now let's talk about another case, and in this case the future price has gone down than the strike price. Since it has gone down from the strike price, the buyer of the option, that is, here let us first write down that market price is less than the strike price. So that means here the market price is 81.50 and it is less than what? The strike price, which is 82. Clear? So in this case, since it is a put option, it will become in the money option because the option is giving a better price than the market. So here the buyer of the option who is also known as the option holder is going to exercise his right. When he will exercise his right, then the importer who is the option writer, and who is the option writer? That is, he is the seller of the option. The option is obliged to buy at the strike price, which is 82. Clear? But at the same time, the importer will receive premium also. Receives premium. So if we talk about the payoff of importer, then it becomes 82, the price at which he is going to buy from the option buyer, minus 1, which is the premium. So 81 rupees per USD is the effective rate. And then what will be the cost to the importer for the $10,000 contract? It is going to be 10,000 into 81, which is 8,10,000. So what do we observe? In both cases, the importer benefits. The premium acts as a cushion, reducing the effective cost. The importer benefits only up to a point. If the dollar falls too much, the premium is not enough to cover the loss. Similarly, we have an exporter who sells a call option and earns a premium. But if the currency appreciates sharply, the exporter is obliged to sell at a lower strike price, missing out on significant market gains. The key point: selling options generate income in stable markets but create serious obligations in volatile market. This strategy is not a substitute for a full hedge. It is a supplementary income tool under specific market conditions. Now let us understand the selling of the call option by taking the example of the exporter. Now here the call option strike price is 84 USD and the premium is 1 per USD and the contract size is 10,000. Now let's first find out who are the parties to the contract. We have an exporter who has sold call option, right? This exporter is also a option writer. So there might be a buyer of the call option, and we call him option holder. Now this buyer of the call option has bought something, and that is called right to buy at strike price, right? Now this call option holder has bought this right and has given premium to exporter. Now once if call option is exercised, then exporter is obliged to sell the foreign currency at a strike price to the option holder, right? Now we have been given two cases here. The case 1, the spot price is 83.75, which means the market price is less than the strike price, where market price is how much? 83.75 and the strike price is 84. Now this is the call option. So when the market price is less than the strike price, then the call option is not exercised, and hence the option holder is going to buy from the market. So in this case it becomes out of the money option and will not be exercised. Now let us understand what will happen to the exporter. Exporter has to buy the foreign currency. The exporter has to sell the foreign currency. He would have sold it to the option holder, or he will sell it to the market. Now in this case, if he sells the dollars in the market at a rate 83.75, he will also get a premium. He will receive premium which is equal to +1. So what is going to be his effective rate? Effective rate is going to be 1 plus 83.75, giving you 84.75. Clear? So what is the effective realization that he will make? The effective rupee proceeds that he will get, or the rupee revenue. This is going to be 84.75 into 10,000 gives you 8,47,500. Fine. Now let's talk about a spot rate is increased. It has become 84.75. Now here the strike price, the market price I should say, the market price is greater than the strike price. Since market price is greater than the strike price, the call option will be exercised, because the option holder would like to buy at a lower rate, and here the lower rate will be the strike price of the option. So here this particular option is market price is how much here? 84.75, and strike price is the same, which is 84. Now this becomes the call option here becomes in the money option. In the money option. Fine. And since it is in the money option, the buyer will exercise. And what happens? The exporter is obliged to sell. To sell at what rate? At rupees 84. So, what is going to be his effective rate? Let us consider the payoff of the exporter. The effective rate for the exporter, he is going to sell for 84 rupees, so he will get 84 per dollar, plus he is also getting 1 rupee as a premium. So, this is the premium that he is receiving. So, the effective rate for the exporter is 85. So, hence the total inflow, the total rupee revenue with this $10,000 contract is going to be 10,000 into 85 gives you 8,50,000. So, what do we observe here? We observe here that in both cases the exporter benefits. The premium acts as a cushion, increasing the effective realization. The exporter benefits only up to a point. If the dollar rises too much, the exporter cannot take the advantage of the higher market as he has to sell at rupees 84. The premium given is only 1 rupee, which acts as a cushion. It is not fully protected against the lower realization. Now let's look at a smarter combination, and this strategy is known as the tunnel strategy. It combines both the options, the call options and the put options, and is also known as range forward or zero cost collar. The idea is to simultaneously buy and sell options so that premiums largely offset each other while still providing protection with a defined range. For an importer, buy a call at the ceiling rate. It protects if the currency appreciates beyond the level. Selling a put at the floor rate, he earns the premium and takes on the obligation if the currency fall below this level. What is going to be the result? The result will be the importer's effective rate will be locked between the floor and the ceiling. They won't pay above the ceiling and they won't benefit below the floor. Now let us understand this with help of an example in which we have been given two options, and one is a put option and the other is a call option. Now what is the importer doing here? Importer is buying a call option and importer is selling a put option, right? In both the cases, he has to buy. In both cases, he will be buying the foreign currency. In both cases, he will buy foreign currency. In the call option, which he has bought, he will have the right to buy and the put option, which he has sold, he will be obliged to buy. In both the option, there is going to be a premium. In this option, that is call option, he will pay premium, and in put option, he will receive premium. Fine. Let us say the premium is same, that is 1 rupee here. So he paid -1 and received +1. So the net cost of premium is 0. Okay. Now here what we are going to do is we will see that only one thing is going to happen, either call will exercised or put will exercised. Both will not be exercised. So here we see if the call option strike price is 84 and the put option strike price is 82. If the call option, the spot price is greater than 84. So when it is greater than 84, then this call option is going to be exercised. Importer buys at the strike price, which is 84 rupees. Now if the spot price goes below 82, when the spot price is less, that means the market price is less than the strike price. So obviously the importer will not exercise. He will buy from the market, will not exercise, fine. So and if the spot price is between 82 and 84, obviously he is getting better from the market. So he is not going to exercise this option which is at 84. So this also will not be exercised. Now let us talk about the put option. If put option spot price is greater than 82, so it means what does it mean? It means that market is giving a better rate. It is giving rate greater than 82 or in fact greater than 84. So hence he will buy from the market and the put option will not be exercised. So there is going to be no obligation for the put option seller. Next is if it is 82, that means spot price is less than 82. So the market is giving less rate. So the option is giving more rate. So hence the option will be exercised. So we are discussing about the put option here, remember, right? So and if it is between 82 and 84, that means still the put option rate is unfavorable. So hence the option will not be exercised. So this is what we have actually understood through the spot rate and the strike rate, whether it is going to be exercised or not exercised. Now on the basis of whether it is exercised or not exercised, we will come to know what the importer is going to do. Now here the call option is exercised, but the put option is not exercised. So hence he is going to buy from the call option and hence he will buys at a rate of 84. Clear? Now here the call option is not exercised, but the put option is exercised. So he is going to buy from the option and hence he will buy at a rate of 82. Now here in both the cases they are not exercised. Neither the call option is exercised nor the put option is exercised. So from where will he buy? He is going to buy from the market. Fine. So obviously since the premium of the two options have offset each other, this is going to be the effective rate, the rate at which he is buying, market rate. The tunnel strategy is widely used in corporate treasury because it significantly reduces or eliminates the net premium cost while still providing meaningful protection. Now let's move to another interesting topic, and this is known as money market hedge. Now let's understand the steps in hedging for the importer. So here are the steps for money market hedge when you have a foreign currency payable. First, you have to calculate the value of investment in foreign currency such that the principal plus interest received equals the amount payable at the settlement date. Then you have to convert domestic currency into the foreign currency at the spot rate and make the investment required. After that period, use the maturity proceeds to make payment to the supplier. This locks in the future cost today. Now let us say that we have an Indian importer. The Indian importer has to pay $10,000 after 3 months, while the US interest rate is 4% and the spot rate, that is the current rate given to us, is 80 rupees. This is the current rate. Right. Now here, how are we going to calculate? We will calculate how much investment we need to do. Our investment in USD should be such that at the time of maturity, the principal plus the interest that we get is equal to the import payable. Right? So how are we going to do? We will first calculate the investment. We have been given the rate, which is 4%, and this is for per annum. Since it is 3 months, we will make it quarterly. That is, which is equal to 0.04 into 3 by 12. This is the quarterly rate, and hence now we have to find the investment to be made, which will be equal to 10,000 upon 1 plus the quarterly rate. This gives us the value of USD to be invested, which is 9,901. Now what we will do, we will convert 901 into 80 rupees. We get 7,29,080. Now why are we converting? Because we want to first use these rupees, use these rupees to buy these USD dollars which we are going to invest. Fine. So that is why we are converting. So what will happen? We have this 7,29,080 with us. Convert them into USD, which is 9901, and then we are going to invest them. Invest these USD. Invest at 4% per annum quarterly rate. And what will happen? We will get how much? We will get 10,000 USD. Now this 10,000 USD we will use for the payment. Sorry, this is not. $7,92,080. So we will use this USD for payment, and hence the rupee cost is locked at 1 USD equal to 79.20 rupees. So we do not know what is going to happen in the future. The dollar might increase or dollar might reduce, but we have hedged it by locking it now at this particular rate. Now let's look at the money market hedge for a foreign currency receivable, that is for the exporter. The exporter should borrow in foreign currency such that the principal plus interest payable equals the amount to be received at the settlement date. Then we will convert foreign currency into domestic currency at the spot rate. After the period, we will receive the amount from the customer in USD dollar, which we are going to use to repay the loan. This fixes the domestic currency value of the receivable today. Now here also we have been given the same question. The USD is that he is going to receive is 10,000 after 3 months. The US interest rate is 4% and the spot rate is rupees 80 per USD dollar. So now we will calculate the amount to be borrowed, such that at repayment the interest and principal becomes equal to 10,000 USD, right? Now here how we are going to do it? We are going to do it in the same manner. We will find out into 3 by 12 and the value of USD2 we borrowed is 9,901. Now here we have first got we first borrow, right? We first borrow and then we get the USD and then this USD we convert into rupees. So this is 9901 into 80, which gives us 7,92,080. Now what will happen is after 3 months the exporter will receive how much? The exporter will receive $10,000. This $10,000 he can use to repay the loan. And now what he has done? He has locked the rate, which is $1 is equal to 79.20 rupees. So he doesn't need to bother that what is going to be the USD rate in future. So I hope you liked the lecture, which was how we do hedging with help of options and with help of the money market hedge. There are other ways also, like for example currency swap, which we are going to do in the coming lectures. That's all for now today. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.